name is Alethea Gaddis. Some of you know me, some of you do not. You may have heard of the work that we do through the William Vivian Gaddis Foundation. And I have a diverse professional background in both the nonprofit sector as well as in the business sector. I grew up in a business family, so business is in my DNA. I have a nonprofit organization, as you know. I also provide insurance, life, health, uh, you name it. And also, I have a nonprofit consulting business. I love helping people that are interested in the nonprofit sector set up and bring their vision to fruition. So I am excited about the things that I'm able to do, but most importantly, I enjoy writing, spending time with my family. I'm a servant leader, a youth advocate, and my one of my goals from my mission statement is to die empty. I wanted to pour out everything that I can into those that remained. So that is a little bit about me. So now we'll go ahead and start talking about the program for this year. So our mantra is succeeding is inevitable for me. Success is my reality. This was coined by one of our Jumpstart students a couple of years ago. I liked it. We adopted it. And then we added this year another one, forward ever, backward never. And we start off the mornings with this mantra while we're on the tour. And also we will quote it different times throughout the program sessions because I want every scholar to know that they can succeed. It is their reality. They should always go forward and backward never. Next slide. Okay, so at the William Vivian Gaddis Foundation, we believe every scholar carries a spark, a divine spark in them. Through education, entrepreneurship, and intentional exposure, we equip youth in Central Ohio to discover, affirm, and live out their purpose. Our programs are strategically designed to build legacy, foster leadership, and create multi-generational impact, one scholar at a time. So we've been doing this for some time, and we have heard from parents, we've heard from students that they love what we do, but they want more. So we expanded the program this year to include, for the second time, a second tour, but also to extend our programming beyond the June college tour experience. We realized that it's not over once we get back, but there's still work to do. And so we have extended our programming to go up to 10 months a year, and we will schedule different programming so that people can take advantage and learn and explore, because we never all get it in one spot. Sometimes we have to put ourselves in those different places that help us to equip and empower ourselves. Next slide. So here are a few highlights from Cohort 1. As you heard in the video, if you were able to hear it, we had 65 total scholars that checked into the program this year. And then we had 50 that went through some of the college navigation workshops that we offered. And we had 37 who completed the program to successfully be able to go on the tour. So to go on the tour, students had to attend at least 3 college navigation sessions, 1 teen Socratic Circle, and 1 team building experience. Scholars received a greeting when we reached Livingstone College by the president. It was just amazing. He was standing there when the bus pulled up. He was ecstatic to see that many students getting off of a bus to visit Livingstone College. And so he shook each of their hands. And I'm like, how often do you get a chance to shake the hand of a college university president? He also offered our students who were juniors and seniors a full scholarship, full ride scholarship if they had at least a 3.7 GPA. So I thought that was pretty phenomenal. And as stated, we also offered for the first time ever our college sessions on 2 college campuses, one Otterbein University here in Westerville, and second of all, Livingstone College, where we toured both of those campuses, even Otterbein, because even though we're right here in Central Ohio, a lot of times uh, parents and students aren't aware of all the different resources that are available. Next slide. Okay, so what makes the 2025 Jumpstart College Experience different? Number one, as I mentioned earlier, extended programming. We now offer 10 months of year-round programming. It's engaging, it's encouraging, it's in-depth. It's for high school students, grades 9 through 12. Any student, any student can attend the sessions, even if they do not intend to go on the college tour. Going on the college tour is not a mandate. It's just an extra opportunity once you sit in the college navigation sessions. We also have decided to expand, and given the world that we are in right now, we all realize that things are totally different than they were this time last year. And so we've expanded. We've always had an entrepreneurial push, but this year we have added a little extra because the reality is with the DEI dismantling on our campuses, and our HBCUs having a decrease in funding, there are students who may not have an opportunity to go to the college because of lack of scholarships available. So we want students to understand that they do have other career paths. And so we will be exploring those just so they have choices, so they have options. Again, this is the second year that we've done 2 tours, last year and then this year. And so we are excited to be able to offer a second tour here coming up in November. Next slide. So I mentioned just now, the DEI advocacy and awareness. We are really concerned about making sure parents and students are equipped to navigate this space. And we're all learning the space because it's new. And because of that, we have a special session plan that we'll share with you a little bit later. I also mentioned already about offering an in-depth guidance into other career paths. That's what we call Plan B. And then scholar touch points. One of the things that a lot of the students really asked for after we returned from the tours was, can somebody follow up with me? I need help with my scholarship application, my my letters of inquiry to people who I need to write letters for me. And so we have decided to try to do that. It means we have to find some extra help, but we are working on being able to serve those that are asking for additional support. Next slide. Okay, so I mentioned the college navigation and career sessions and the teen Socratic circles. I'm not going to read all of these. Again, this will be available for you as a replay. It will be on the website as a PDF so that you can go through, and the workshops and everything are already on the website, so you can have the dates. Some of the locations have to be adapted and revised, so just stay tuned for that. So we're kicking it off today with our Jumpstart Journey Parent and Scholar Connect. And then our next session is the 13th with Mr. Jay Denson. He's going to be talking about exploring career paths and internships with purpose. We learned even more so this year how important internships are to our students. So Ms. Cunningham, you could just go to each slide and I'll just highlight a couple of them. This one here, I really hope everyone on this call, everyone viewing even the replay, will plan to come to this session. We are holding it at Ohio Dominican University. One of our volunteers, Dr. Tiffany Polite, is facilitating that along with some other subject matter experts. We really want to delve into the shifting ground that we're all experiencing right now. There's a changing landscape, and we want to be prepared to navigate it successfully. So please plan to attend that. You will be receiving more information. And if you are on the call today or watching the replay, if you have not signed up to be on the mailing list, please go to the website and make sure that you sign up so that you can stay up to date about what we are doing. Next slide. Okay, this is a couple of other sessions that we're doing. I'm just going to let you scroll through these slowly while I try to let people in. I'm trying to navigate two things here. I thought I had fixed it so that people wouldn't have to wait, but evidently that didn't work. So I'm going to have to keep doing that. So the locations, as I stated, will be updated. We have some phenomenal facilitators. One of my favorite presenters is Dr. Nathan Harris, who has done a phenomenal job helping students to discover their spark. And so I feel like if everybody has that spark, they know what it is they want to do, if they know what it is they're interested in, that's one step closer to knowing what your purpose is. We also have, for those that will be going on the tour, we'll be doing a pre-boarding brief. We normally have more in-person parent engagement. Since COVID, we have learned to try to pivot a little bit, but it is important to try to touch base with parents as well, because there are a lot of moving parts to our program. And in order for it to be successful, both leading up to the college tour experience, as well as while we are on the tour, it is very important that scholars and parents alike understand what it is, the expectations are. And so that's what that pre-boarding brief will be about, and it will cover information that you would have already seen and viewed, but we will just go over it again to make sure that everyone is on the same page. You will have an opportunity to register for these sessions. That information will be disseminated here soon. We're finalizing, as I indicated, locations. We wanted to have as many of the sessions on college campuses as possible. And we are blessed to be able to go to Otterbein University. We have a connection there that's made it possible for us, where it's very affordable. We wanted to do some sessions at Ohio Dominican. It wasn't necessarily affordable, but we are going to do the one for everyone for the DEI dismantling, because we want it to be, easily accessible to everyone, even if they happen not to be on the bus line. Next slide. Testing Edge, ACT success strategies is one of the sessions. Next slide. Okay, so as I said, you have the opportunity to go back and review the sessions. The replay will be available. It's also on the website, www.gaddisforkids.org. That will be at the end of this presentation as well, because we want you to be able to know how to get in touch with us and how to know what to expect. So here's what the proposed itinerary is for November 4th through the 8th.
You got it, 22?
Excuse me?
You got it?
Hello? Could everyone mute your phone so that we can cut out on the discussions in the back? Thank you so much. Okay, so we are planning to go on the college tours, and people will say, well, what is that about? What does that mean? If you've never gone on one, we will do a walking tour. We will learn about admissions, their cost to attend, scholarships offered, and they will have an opportunity to engage with students and other campus personnel. Scholars will really gain insight on what to look for in a college or university. These then come home, and the work really begins once they get back home to you. We have discovered that even though we are seeing a lot of campuses during these few days, they have an opportunity to see what it is they like. Do they want to be close to home? Do they not mind being far from home? Do they want to be in a rural setting or in an urban setting? Do they want a small school or a large school, private or state, PWI or HBCU? This particular program emphasizes the opportunities that HBCUs offer because we believe in the mission of HBCUs. As you can tell from my bit of information, I did not have an opportunity to attend an HBCU. I had planned to go, but my best friend and I cut up so bad in high school. Don't laugh. My parents said, "No way are we sending you to Clark, Atlanta, and not knowing what you're going to be into down there." And that was probably a wise decision. So even though I did not attend an HBCU, I met my best friends of life at Bowling Green State University. We are still in touch. So we are promoting finding a place that feels like home. If the HBCU is where you feel like home and where your needs are going to be met academically and financially, then touch the school that's going to help you. Okay. So we just have people saying, well, I went on the tour, but I didn't find an HBCU or I couldn't go to one. It's okay. Find the place that feels like home. Find a place that fits. So we are attending Bowie State University, Howard University, Morgan State University, and we're going to close out at Hampton University for their open house. And we are going to try to squeeze by Georgetown University. We've already requested campus visits for each of these campuses. And so we're looking forward to exposing your young people, your scholars, to the opportunities that these schools can offer. Next slide. So here's how you participate. As we keep mentioning, we have college career and navigation sessions, CCNS for short, and teen Socratic circles. These are, again, open to all high school students, 9 through 12, no cost, thanks to the generous support of our funders and investors. The tour participation, however, requires parental contribution with the funding that we also have that subsidizes the tour. And you will need to apply, make a deposit so that we can have a gauge on whether or not we have a significant number of scholars to be able to pull off the trip. They need to attend at least 2 of the sessions. We offer multiple ones, so hopefully you can find one that fits in with your calendar, your school calendar, your home, your church calendar, and all of those things that we are engaged in. And the Teen Socratic Circle session, that's important. We added it 2 years ago because we wanted to be able to see how students interacted with one another. We wanted to be able to encourage them to engage in critical thinking. And so that Teen Socratic Circle is very important. We've had some wonderful discussions in those sessions, so we hope that students will take advantage in those. Be on time and actively engaged in each of our sessions. We have a saying: to be early is on time, to be on time is to be late. And we start on time, and we want students to check in. We have a attendance check-in that allows us to know when students arrive. And so that's why it's also important to make sure that you sign in when you arrive. And then as I said, we have a pre-boarding brief that we will also offer, and that date is on the calendar. At that time, you will have the full itinerary. You will also have been introduced by then to the forms that we have that you need to complete. And if you have questions, you can ask them there, or you can always reach out to us if there's information that you didn't understand or questions that you had. Next slide. So this is the cost this year for the fall version of the program. Our price varies per year based on this part of the country that we're traveling to, the cost of gas for the bus. So there's a lot of things that factor into that. So this year for the fall experience, the total cost is $645 per student. You can either pay it in full or you can make 3 installments. We have the dates that those have to be made by. those installments are made on the website. There's a link there for you to do that. So the price includes chartered motor coach transportation, double occupancy in the hotels, and 3 meals a day, except for the travel day. The students should either bring a snack or have some extra change for us while we're traveling. And then we have a 1 to 10 chaperone ratio. So the total program value is approximately $1,900 per student, but due to funding that we have and then the contribution that parents make, we are able to reduce it to the $645 per student. We do have a refund policy. If you request a refund in writing by October 15th, you can receive your 50% of your refund back. We have to do it that way because we have already contractually obligated ourselves for hotels and the bus. And depending on when we would have to cancel, if that would be the case, which has never been the case, we could be liable for space. So please understand that every trip by most people has a refund policy, and we are no different. So I hope that you understand that. The application process is now open. It is on the website, again, www.gaddisforkids.org. To confirm your spot on the tour, you will need to apply, make a deposit, meet those payments on time, and follow the directions that are going to be provided and information that you receive. If you are not going on the tour, please still come to the sessions because the information is invaluable. It will help you, and we will have I lost my thought there for a second, trying to check this admission, letting people in. But if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. And the deposit also helps to defray the cost of some of our snacks. It doesn't cover it all, but it defrays the cost of some of it, the driver gratuity, and all of those other costs that are incurred with a trip of this magnitude. Okay, next slide. Trying to see. Okay, it looks like everybody is in, nobody's out in the waiting room. Okay, so I put together some frequently asked questions to try to help you understand some things that you may be wondering about. Someone still has their mic open. Would you mind muting your mic, please? Thank you so very much. So how do you receive program updates to stay informed? We are very intentional about communicating. In fact, they tell me that I communicate too much because I'm so anal about making sure details are provided to everyone so everyone knows what to expect, what the next steps are. So you can always reach out to us via email or text messages. You can also expect to receive emails from us. We're going to try to limit those emails to Wednesdays unless there's something that we need to update expeditiously so that you don't have an inbox full of emails. And we just need to make sure we have a correct address. We already had from one of the persons that submitted an interest form, their email address wasn't complete, and so it bounced back. So please make sure before you press the button that your email address is correct. So we'll utilize email, as I said. Please make sure that Gaddis for Kids, info at Gaddis for Kids, gaddisforkids.org is not blocked so that you receive the messages. We also have a CRM that we use to send text messages. You can also call or text us on that same number, which is listed there, 614-470-2825. You can also reach us through Facebook Messenger on our Jumpstart page. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram so that, again, you can get all the latest up-to-date information. We do post regularly on Facebook and Instagram, And as we are preparing to get on the road, we'll probably institute another platform so that we can stay in touch with you while we're traveling, where even though you will have a detailed itinerary, we will still check in with you and let you know where we are, where we've arrived, send you some pictures just so you can see that everything is well. So please, please, please help us to keep you in the know by checking your email, making sure that you have access to what we are sending and that you respond and inquire if you have any questions.
Ms. Gaddis, I do actually have two questions from two different parents. Is it okay if I ask them right now?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, from Christina, she says that her son completed the prerequisite curriculum and participated in the June Jumpstart HBCU tour. Does he have to take classes again, or can he just participate in the meet and greet prior to the November experiences?
Okay, that is one of the frequently asked questions that I was going to respond to. I will go ahead and jump to that now. If a student participated in the June experience, they do not need to take the two required for the fall tour. We are expecting them to come to the the September 18th session where we're talking about the shifting ground and also the pre-boarding brief. We hope that he or she and those students will come to some of the sessions because they have an opportunity to select their roommates. And the only way you can do that is if you get a chance to know some of the students that are participating. So no, they do not have to start over and take the two sessions and the Teens to Credits Circle. But we do need them to participate in the pre-boarding brief and to, if possible, attend the September 18th session so that you can try to get to know other students that are going. We have found that it's very important for students to have built some type of camaraderie before we get on the bus. When I first started doing this, I would write a grant, gather up a bunch of students, we get on the bus and go to the campuses. That's how I came to establish some of the protocols that we have now, because it is really important for students to be able to interact with one another and for the chaperones to be able to interact with those students and for the students to be able to interact with me and understand how we operate. So that pre-boarding is very important, and also trying to come to the other sessions to get to know other students. And what was the other question?
Thank you so much. The other question was from Angela Diggs. She says, are the virtual options for the classes for parents and students? I'm so sorry. Are there virtual options for the classes for parents and students that live out of state?
Okay, that's another one of the questions that's on the FAQ list. We are working on that. You can go ahead to the next slide. Maybe that's one of the questions on the next slide. It's not. Ms. Dix, just give me a chance to get to that question when we get to that slide, okay? How will you know your tour application and payments have been received? You will receive an auto response in your email, so please save it. How are roommates matched? As I said, roommates are selected by the students, the scholars themselves. If they already know someone that's going and plan to room with them, on the application, there is a question that says, do you know the roommate that you would like to be with already? And you would put their name in there. We always have students that are brand new to the process. They don't really know anybody. They're kind of shy. They don't really know how to engage with other people that they don't know. I'm like that sometimes, believe it or not. So that's why myself and my sister, Sylvia Gaddis, the chaperones, we are in those sessions so that we can get to know the students, and we are able to typically match students with someone that would be a good fit for them. So we are very conscious about making sure your students feel comfortable with who they stay with. So we will, in addition to allowing them to select their roommates, also have an opportunity to match them with someone based on things that we see while we're going through the sessions. Common question is, how much extra money do they need? Our response to this is always based on your family budget. We have students that come with boatloads of money. They have more money on the tour than I have. We go into the bookstores, they come out with more stuff than I do, or I'm shopping on the clearance rack and they're buying the top dollar stuff. So it all depends on what instructions you give them, what your family budget is. They like to go to the college bookstores and pick up gear, pick up souvenirs. Even though we have tons of snacks on the bus, they will still buy other snacks. They may have left some toiletries at home. That's an opportunity for them to do that. So whatever extra change you give them is based on what you determine your budget to be. We encourage you to have them bring as less cash as possible and to keep track of their credit cards, debit cards, or whatever, so that they are not lost and that they do not allow other people to take their card and make purchases with it. That's happened before, believe it or not. Is there a luggage limit? No, there is not. However, everyone is responsible for toting their own luggage and bags into the hotel once we unload the bus. Some people like to bring a lot of luggage. I used to be like that. I have learned travel with as less as possible because I don't want to lug that stuff. So no, there is not a limit. The bus has plenty of space underneath, but we just ask you we're only going to be gone for a few days. So just pack just exactly what you need. Um, how are the other forms? What are the other forms required? We have permission form, a medical form, a student pledge. Next question is, what is the student pledge? We previously had called it student code of honor code of conduct. We've kind of revised the name a little bit and revised the pledge somewhat. Basically, the pledge provides guidelines and directions for what our expectation is of students that are participating in the program. Our organization, the Gaddis family, takes what we do extremely serious. We have a reputation in this community of being integritous, and so we make every effort to make sure that we prepare for students to be safe so that we can return them back to you safely, for students to represent themselves and you, as well as our organization, in a manner that's conducive. A lot of times when we're traveling, we notice that there's people watching and trying to see what our kids are going to be doing, our young people are going to be doing. So we have some very explicit guidelines on what our expectations are. I won't go into that here, but you will receive that. In that student pledge, there's also information about dress expectations. We do have a dress code of sorts. We always struggle with people reading that and then helping their scholars to pack accordingly. For example, one of the things that we really do not like to see are shorts. Not only is that a distraction to each other on the tour, but when we're walking across campuses, when we're at stops getting fueling and letting them get snacks, we are very conscious about people that could be watching, especially when you're traveling on a bus. It's just an easy target. A lot of times parents, students don't understand why we are so anal, for lack of a better word, about that, but we really are about safety, presenting ourselves in a professional manner. You're going on college campuses and presenting yourself to potential admissions personnel. We are going for the top schools in the country. And so you never know who you're going to run into. We just want you to look nice. We go on tours and see students in suits and ties. We're not that extreme, but we do want you to be neat. And so that will be explained in the student pledge. And as always, if there's questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Are there assigned seats on the bus? No, they're not assigned, but when we board the bus, when we leave from First Church of God on the 4th, whatever seat you select is the seat that you're expected to be in for the duration of the trip. Again, that's an accountability for us to be able to see who's on the bus. Even though we do a roll call, we still like to see people in the same seat so we can know whether or not someone is missing. So you will be able to select your own seats once we board on the 4th. I'll go back up to the forms again. September 15th, they'll be available by September 15th. And all forms must be received back to us by October 31st. And they are submitted electronically, so you don't have to worry about printing anything off and mailing it in or anything like that. So next slide.
I actually have two more questions.
Okay.
Okay, I have one from Shayla. She says one of the mandatory meetings is on a weekend and her daughter has a volleyball game. What happens if she can't attend that meeting?
Okay, we can talk about that offline. There are sometimes that there are things that we have to adjust to. Last year, we had to come up with a makeup session. So we are not promoting makeup sessions, but we are sensitive to students having other obligations, which thank you for checking those dates. That's why we provide the dates in advance so people can prepare.
Perfect, thank you. From Ruby, she asks, are they able to register and save their spot before making it to any meetings?
Once you apply by submitting your application and deposit, you are reserving your spot.
Okay, and then I have one more question from Ms. Gibson. She said, what is the specific GPA requirement?
There is no GPA requirement.
There you go. There's your answer. That's all I have so far.
We don't want anyone to feel like they're not college material. This is not an elite program per se, even though some people consider it that. But a lot of times we have seen students that maybe who did not have the highest GPAs get motivated by being around other scholars, get motivated by being on the trip. And we've had so many parents come back and say they came back and buckled down and got it together. So that is why we do not have a GPA requirement. But thank you for the question. Is there a curfew? Yes, there is. And the curfew will be listed on the schedule that you will receive. Our schedule is very detailed that you, as you will see, again, I told you I'm very detail oriented. And so we have a curfew that's based on several things. Number one, when a group of high school students are at a hotel, a lot of times they will have certain curfews where they want all students in their rooms. For, again, safety precautions, we have a time where we want all students in their room. We have a process where we tape doors once students are expected to be in for the night. We let everybody know, hey, the curfew tonight is 11 p.m. We are taping doors at 11 p.m. You are expected not to leave the room until the next morning for breakfast. And if there is any emergency, you will have our phone numbers. You will have the number to the front desk. But we do not want students wandering the hotel halls by themselves. And so it's important that students understand that we are not at home where you have, the freedom to go about, on your own turf. We are on different turf. And so we do have a curfew that we are very serious about. We try to incorporate game time when we get to the hotels, if there is time. Again, all of that is contingent upon what time we get to the hotel and what time we need to be up and on the bus in the morning. We have to schedule the tours. And so we have to be on time. We have to get up and have breakfast, load the bus, travel to the campus, be ready for our meeting with the admissions personnel. So we will have a curfew, and there's a method to the madness. So just roll with us, okay? Are snacks and blankets and toiletry medicine bags permitted on the bus? Yes, they are. Absolutely. Please bring extra snacks for yourself. If there's certain things that you like, the bus is usually cold, so bring your blanket. You can bring pillows, just keep up with them. We encourage you that if you have a toiletry bag or medications that you may need to take while we're driving, if we're, say for instance, like when we leave Columbus and head to Washington, D.C., if there's a period of time where you have some medication to take, please, by all means, make sure that you have it with you. Once we lock and load the bus, We do not go back underneath the bus, digging through luggage to get stuff. So we ask you to plan ahead with what you need for the trip. Will scholars and students have access to mobile phone numbers? Yes, you absolutely will. Students are assigned to a chaperone, and that chaperone group, they all have each other's contact information. They have their chaperone's contact information. They have all of the chaperone's contact information, as well as that of mine, myself, and my sister, Sylvia Gaddis, so that if you at any time you need to reach us, you're able to do so. So that's another reason why we are strict on that curfew, leaving the room. You know, you can't get to the room if the curfew is at 11 and decide that you want ice. You have to plan ahead and get that ice before you go to your room. If there's an emergency, again, that's the purpose of having our phone numbers and the purpose of being able to call the front desk. They will always know how to reach us. Again, why are students asked to arrive to sessions early? We have an attendance check-in. That's how we know who is there. If you could see all the moving parts that we have to make this happen, we have to know that students are there. There's always a case where somebody has said, well, my student was there, but they didn't check in, or we didn't have them there. We didn't have them on the list, or we didn't even see them. So checking in is very important. We also value your time. And so we want to start on time and end on time so that when you're there to pick your scholar up, they are completed. If we run over a bit, it's because we just could not avoid running over a bit. But we are also cognizant of our facilitators' times. Some of them volunteer, some of them I have to contract with. And so, yes, we are very time conscious when it comes to the sessions. And that's why it is important to be on time. We are teaching a principle to students with this timeliness. We have to remind our students at this point, you know, when in high school, a lot of times our parents are reminding them that they have this assignment due, or the application deadlines for this particular college or university is coming up. We want them to begin to understand the importance of being on time and taking care of their business, because once you miss a deadline, often that's it. So we're teaching a principle with the time philosophy. So we hope that you will roll with us on that as well. I think I mentioned the refund policy. If you request it in writing by October 15th, you will get 50% of your monies paid back, minus the non-refundable deposit, of course. Next slide. Okay, options for students who reside outside of the area. Ms. Diggs, here we go. We are working on it. Unfortunately, we do not have the expertise or capacity to readily offer this option. We are open to suggestions, and we are, again, looking into options. So please give us some time to try to get it figured out. Can parents volunteer to chaperone? We always have parents that would like to volunteer. We've had it maybe twice. We try to encourage parents to let their students go on the tour, because a lot of times if a parent is there, the student feels inclined to go with what their parent is doing versus what the group is going. So sometimes it can be a distraction. So we do discourage parents from wanting to chaperone. We do understand the concept of traveling with your student, because it's cheaper to go to several places on a bus than what it is to be driving or flying those places. So we are actually working on some options where parents will have an opportunity to travel with their students on the bus. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're working on it. We're going to try. Volunteer opportunities. We do have volunteer opportunities. We do still need a couple of qualified chaperones. We need help securing meeting space. We need volunteers to help coordinate snacks, help assist at some of the sessions. So if you are interested in volunteering in any way, or if you know people that could be a benefit to the organization and what we're doing for the young people, please reach out to me. We have a 2x2 policy. We ask the students do not wander off by themselves. We have to see them with a student. And even though we will say this before we're getting off the bus to go into a restaurant or at a truck stop to get gas or whatever, and there inevitably is somebody walking off by themselves. And then they have the deer in the headlight look when we say, where's your partner? So 2 by 2 is a safety precaution, and we are expecting students to adhere to that. That, again, is one of the things that is in the student pledge. This question was already answered about the spring, those who participated in the spring. So that information is there, and I've also already stated it. And if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out. Next slide, which might be the last one in this. Okay. Will there be a closing program to celebrate scholars who participated in both cohorts 1 and 2? Yes, we had planned to try to do something at the end of the June tour like we did last year, but timing just didn't work. So we are planning to do a program at the end of the year in December for all of the students who participated in all parts of the program, whether it was the tour, whether it was just the workshops that we offered. And for our graduating class of 2025, we have quite a few of our students that graduated and have gone on to college. We will be awarding scholarships to selected graduates so that they can have some additional money when they return to school in January. So again, please stay tuned to your our communication methods to know when that will be taking place. Next slide. Okay, thank you for joining us. The contact information is there. It's on the website. And now, if there are additional questions in the chat, please don't hesitate to ask. And if you don't want to ask it, don't hesitate to give us a call or reach out. Anything else in the chat?
I have one from Ms. Stroh. She said, is there an estimated departure time for the 11-4 trip?
It is going to be probably mid-afternoon. We are still working with the bus company on that. So we'll be announcing that information here soon as well. Thanks for the question, though. I meant to put that in the FAQ.
That is all I have.
Any other questions? I know it's a lot. If you could see what it takes to make this happen, you will understand. It's a lot of moving parts, and it's a lot to coordinate, and I try to be as thorough as possible. And also to reassure you that we have your scholars' best interest at heart. We love what we do, and we just want them to make it. And we love it when they come back and say, I found my HBCU, I found my PWI, I'm going to college, I decided to go into the military, or we just love it. We love to see them thrive. And that's what this is all about. So we appreciate your interest. And even if your scholar is not able to participate at this time, please feel free to share our information with others, because we want to make sure that we have 40 students so that we can take this trip. I'm super excited about being on the campus of Hampton University for their fall open house. This will be our this will be our second time making it to an open house. The first time was a few years ago at Winston-Salem State. And it's just really a great time for students to see the campus in full bloom. When we take our June campus visits, we do get a chance to see campuses. We do have an opportunity to see the campus in action, but because it's right during summer school, it's difficult for them to really get the full effect. But we have selected June because we were trying not to take students out of school. We weren't sure whether parents would be amenable to that, even though it is considered a excused absence in most districts, and we will provide documentation for that. So this could be the beginning of offering it during the school year versus June, if this is a success. So please spread the word, share the news, and we really appreciate your being here again today.
I have one more question. Ms.
Yes.
Booker asks, I know you went over it already. Is there a phone cellular device policy while on trips?
I thought I put that in the FAQ. I probably didn't.
I think it was in there. I might be wrong.
I think I put it in there where we talked about the schedule. They are permitted to bring their mobile devices because, as you know, everybody is face down into their devices. That's the new posture these days. So they are permitted to bring mobile devices as long as they bring them at their own risk. What we do insist is that when the staff is addressing the group, that they are not texting and playing a game. When we are in the sessions and the people that are there to tell them about their university, because we tell them, you are the customer. They are trying to sell you and come into their university. And the only way you can get that information is if you are being attentive. So if they are taking notes on their device, which we do have some very studious scholars that do, we do not want to see them on the phone because we will take it until we get outside. Same thing with the walking tour. We don't want them on the phone and missing information that is being shared. Also, because we are on the lookout for anything that could be going on, we might get an alert that there is an emergency going on somewhere across campus. If we say run, we need them to run. We don't need them to be looking at the phone and then look up and trying to figure out where we are. So they can bring the devices. The schedule will let you know, parents, where we are. We ask that you not call them during that time because we've had that. Oh, my mom wanted to ask me how it's going. Well, we're on the tour right now, so if you could ask her to call you back later, and hopefully parents won't be offended by that since you are making an investment. So yes, hope that answers the question about the devices. Anything else?
That's all I have in the chat. They said thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate you joining, and I look forward to seeing who's going to jump on board with us to hit this November college experience, and also to take advantage of the workshops that we are providing to help equip your students for their journey beyond high school. So thank you for joining us. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions and concerns. Thank you.